You're getting ready and then you hear like the alarm, right? So you just go, yo.
Wingman, ride or die, best friend, whatever you call it. Everyone has that one person that they can trust, that one person that they can turn to. That person is there in your good times and in your bad times. For over a decade long, the person for me has been my best friend, Harrison, a.k.a. Futemasu. In today's episode, we're gonna talk about our friendship together and kind of what makes us flow and just vibe with each other and how we've been able to survive for so long without fighting or getting underneath each other's skin. So today you're gonna meet my best friend, Harrison, a.k.a. Futemasu. Welcome to the first episode of The Show, where we interview the storytellers, the hustlers, and the outcasts of the world. Today on our first episode, I got my best friend, the one person that has got my back over the years, Harrison, a.k.a. Futemasu. I don't know what you were doing while I was talking. What were you doing?
No, I was like, this is me, I'm the man. Thank you. And I was like, modest, you know.
One interview and all of a sudden he's a prima donna. You should have seen like
just to be on this first show.
I told
myself.
You told me you wouldn't get emotional.
My God.
You told me you wouldn't get emotional. Oh my God, stop it. But we talked about this a long time ago, and I told him that, you know, on my first interview, my first episode, there's no one that I want more than you. Like, and trust me, I had a lot of choices. Janet Jackson was knocking at my door. I had like Bula Ia,
Frank
De Lima. And I said, hey, I'm gonna interview my best friend.
Yeah.
One,
put them on hold.
One, because we've never talked about like our friendship.
Yeah.
You know? I think we got a pretty interesting history, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. First off, kind of tell everyone about yourself and who are you?
Well, as you know, I am Harrison, a.k.a. Futemasu. I've known you for roughly more than 10 years.
But we used to work at a women's gym about 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Everyone would think, yeah, you guys are the luckiest guys in the world.
Great job.
No, it's just drama. You don't, drama ding dong. You know,
drama ding dong.
Yeah, you just don't want that.
I was brought in by the manager, which was a man, and I was the second guy to come in, and I was like, I would be at the front desk and like, man, it's cool hanging out with all these girls and checking in all these pretty girls, don't get me wrong, but I'd like, you know, a co-worker that I can like just kind of hang out with and just joke around and have fun, and I couldn't do that. So then enters Harrison.
And they hired me as a valet guy. The guy who hired me said that he won't hire me as a valet until I learned standard. Now I had a license and I knew how to drive, but I didn't know how to drive standard. So not until I learned standard.
You became a valet.
Yeah, and became a valet, and then that's when everything kind of fell into place. Like I got valet, he's like, that's the job. You're gonna start like on Monday or whatever he said. And yeah, they just, yeah, so it's like, so if I hadn't learned like standard, because I could have been like, nah, screw standard, you know, like I'm good with automatic. If I did that, I would have met you.
Yeah.
Like every little thing that we choose, I mean that's what I believe in. It's just
how the universe works. Right. Everything just falls into place.
Yeah, like whatever you choose, it always falls into place, whatever it is. One time I opened the door and I said, oh, thank you very much, you know, like to this lady who's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, you know, for, you know, letting me come downstairs and doing something, I guess. And then shut the door. I told them, like, oh yeah, I mean, these ladies are nice. It's like, okay, so what you gotta do is you gotta open the door in a right angle where the light will hit your bicep, so you you would be like half man and like half god to the ladies. And from then on, I kind of knew already, this guy is cool. I'm gonna be best friends with this guy.
That's where the bromance started, basically.
Like every time I would talk to him, like it would just be one funny thing after another. You gotta understand, people, that every time that he would like have an excuse, like let's just say he's like 5 minutes late for work, he'd be like, oh boss, my car transformed into a transformer and I didn't know what to do. we had to save the world. We just came back just 5 minutes before.
See, he always teases me about that one time. Remember, we got my own apartment, and then we went to we went to buy some groceries.
Yeah, the water.
So we're in line at like some grocery
Save,
store or whatnot.
So basically, he likes to explain stuff like way too much. Did you find everything? You found everything all right today, sir? He'll be like, well, you know, I wanted a toothbrush because, you know, my toothbrush was like going bad, and I had using the same toothbrush for the past 5, like, irrelevant. Like,
The person doesn't even care at that point. The person's like, hey, I'm just trying to ring you up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to ring you up. I went to his house, kind of like a sleepover thing. We wanted to refill this
water
water jug, and I guess he's so cheap that he never wanted to fill it up all the way to 1 gallon.
You can go up to like 5 gallons, I believe.
Yeah, but it's per gallon. So if it's $3 per gallon, you gotta go 1 gallon and you be charged how many? 3. Okay,
right.
So he goes halfway and he stops it. Like he doesn't, like you don't stop it. You just like, oh no, like you don't want to go all the way. You're that like cheap on it. You're like, nah, I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good with just half. So the guy looks at the jug and he goes, huh, halfway. Is it broken? That's it. Is it broken? No. That would have been the right answer. No, it's not broken. Why would you ask that? But he just goes, oh no, we're just going halfway because my friend's doing a sleepover, and you know, I mean, kind of brought some peanut butter. We're about to get some cake afterwards, and you know, all this irrelevant stuff. I'm like, look at him like.
And the guy's just like, okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna ring you up
$1.50.
now.
Just
Yeah.
$1.50.
$1.50.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Now you, my friend, the one thing about him that I know, that I just, you know, off the top of my head, the way he is as a person, personality, is he's very on time with everything. Kind of anal, sort of, a little bit. But the one thing that I remember the most is, do not mess with him when he's hungry, because he gets really grouchy.
I get hangry, man.
So he'll start doing this thing where he's like, oh, you know, let's go eat, you know?
I'll do it 3 times.
Yeah, he'll give you 3 warnings though. But after like a half hour, if he's still waiting for food and he's really hungry, he's gonna start doing this. So he starts doing this thing where he starts like rubbing himself. He's like, when he does the nose thing, when he starts doing that, he is giving you a warning sign that he's about to attack you because he's hungry.
You can see me turning green, you know.
He'll turn green and his shirt will start to rip.
No, you know.
Why do we get along so well? Like, I don't think me and you have ever really fought or really had. I mean, we've had disagreements.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't really like
fought like
little.
Like forget you too.
Yeah, we haven't had a grudge or anything. But what makes you think we've lasted for so long, just being good friends?
You know what I think it is? I think it's just the fact that our both mindsets are just in the same place, where you went through something that I exactly went through. Like the situation like with your dad, like I exactly went through the same thing. You know, you know, being on your own, like I went exactly the same thing. You know, things with relationship wise, so did I. You know, it's all this thing that we just clicked on it. Vice versa. There's a lot of stuff that I went through after that, and you were like, yeah, I went through that already. I know what's gonna happen, and then, you know, vice versa. And then we kind of give each other advice, you know, and we listen to each other.
That's really the important thing in any friendship or relationship, is to listen. Do more listening than talking.
You know what the funny thing is? I think the guys would listen to more guys than listen to girls. Like if it's like your wife or your girlfriend, it's like, but if it's your boy, it's like, dude, yeah, I feel you, dog, man. You my homie, dog.
I think we can relate. And there's times where I ask him stuff and I'm like, he gives you an answer and I'm like, really? Like, I don't believe him. I'm like, no, there's no possible way that you can be right. One time I was working at one of my jobs and there was this girl that I liked, and I was like, okay, I think this girl really likes me. So I was telling him, I said, there's this girl, she was flirting with me and whatnot. I don't know, man, I really feel it. So the whole story in a nutshell was, I went up to her, she called me over, we was at work, and she said, Damon, are you single? Are you seeing anyone or whatever? Now, for the average guy, you would think, wow, she wants me, right? So I told him the story that she said that to me, and I said, look, I really think like she wants me. Yeah. I really do. there's no possible way why she would ask me if I'm single. I mean, you guys can kind of relate to that, right?
Right.
I don't know how he knew. This is what he told me. He said, instead of like boosting my ego and saying, hey, man, you know, I think she does want you. Because that's what bromance is. You boost each other's ego and you tell each other what you want to hear. He said, no, she's just asking for a friend. I said, stop it. You remember this time?
Yeah. You
I
were
said,
on the phone and I was like,
there's no way. She asked me specifically if I'm single, whatever. She smiled. He said, no, she's asking for a friend because she's trying to hook you up. I said, okay, I tell you what, I'm going to prove you wrong. The next day at work, I go back to work. She says, oh, by the way, want to introduce you to my friend. Do you know who so-and-so is? I was like, no way. I said, there's no way you could possibly know that, you know? So that's kind of like our funny joke, just one of the funny stories that we've had over the years.
Yeah.
Where he just has like, he knows, he can read, and he can read me, I can read him. He has ESPN, so he can basically read me.
ESPN.
No, but I remember the one thing that he always tells me is, we say this to each other is, do you want me to tell you what you want to hear?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to tell you the truth? And there's times where you just want to hear what you want to hear.
Yeah.
So we've
Do
had,
I look fat?
do I look fat or not?
No.
No, you look great.
Truth? You fat.
So there's times where I'll say, you know, man, this and this, and he'll be like, okay, do you want to know the truth, or do you want me to just tell you what you want to hear?
Yeah.
And there's been one or two times I'm like, hey, you know what? Just tell me what I want to hear. He's like, well, you look great then. Everything's great. Everything's all unicorn and rainbows.
Unicorn
you
and
know?
rainbows and Skittles.
And so yeah, this one time in my life where I've never talked about it on camera, but I've never talked about it to pretty much everyone. I was going through a tough time. I was going through a breakup. I was going through depression. So everyone has that one moment in their friendship where you're like, that's my boy, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you had it with me, but you're like, that's my boy, that's my girl, that's my ride or die, whatever they call it. So I was going through depression, just got over a breakup, and I went to him. Like, depression, a lot of people don't realize it, is you feel so lonely. You want somebody to be around you. At least that's my kind of depression.
Yeah.
There's two kinds of depressions. One, you want people to be around you. You want to be around people. And in other depression, you don't want anybody to be around you. You just want to be a hermit and you just want to stay in the house. Through this tough period of my life, that's where he came in and he was there for me. I always wonder, like, how much of a wreck was I? Because, you know, when you're depressed or you're in that moment, you can't really see how you are from the outside looking in.
You're at a point where if I knew I hadn't talked to you, you would have did something dumb. Whether it is giving up on your life or like doing something dumb like breaking into our house and getting your favorite shoes.
Which I didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something.
Hey,
I'm just
he's just saying,
I'm just
per
saying,
se,
hypothetical.
I break in.
As your boy, I gotta keep contact with you, no matter what. Like, even if I'm tired, you know, I got my own problems coming back at home. All right, this is what you're going through.
If they're really good friends, they'll be there for you, and they'll always be around you, and they'll check on you.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, like, I owe this guy my life. This is how bad it was. And I don't think we really went into detail talking about this. You ever get nervous before a big day or interview or something?
Yeah.
And your heart beats fast?
Yeah.
I was like that 24/7.
Oh wow.
So even at night, my heart would beat fast. And I was always worried, like 24/7. And I actually had to go to the doctor to take pills to slow down my heart rate. So 24/7, if you guys can imagine that, your heart rate is fast, you're nervous, you just don't feel good, anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I started having anxiety, depression, and this went on for a good
Months, man.
couple months,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like I remember, like it hasn't like 1 year, but at least 6 months.
Yeah.
Like it was just after she did that, it's just full on drag. If you so happen to be watching this, girl who broke his heart, I mean, that's what you did. So, like crap.
But yeah, if I never said it before, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. Like
Yeah,
that.
man.
That meant a lot to me.
And you know what? Like, I never did it to expect something back. You know, I never did it for a thank you. I never did it for an acknowledgement. Like what you do. I mean, thank you for the acknowledgement, but I'm doing that because I'm your best friend. You know, that's what we're here for. You know.
But the pivotal moment, and you might remember this too, is this is one of those great times where you're like, oh, that's my boy. or oh, that's my girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you remember this. So we were in my car. She left her shades in my car. And I was going through my glove box or whatever, and I was like, oh man, she left her shades. What do I do with it? So I said, Harrison, like, what do I do with the shades? It was like, let's try this. He grabs it. He says, okay, I'm gonna take it outside, and we're gonna smash it. We're gonna drive right over it. Because I said, I don't know what to do with her glasses. Like, is it respectful to return it, or should I just like get rid of it?
Yeah.
And this was already, I was transitioning from being depressed to like, you go through 3 stages when it comes to a breakup. You go through sad, depressed, and then you start getting angry, and then there's acceptance. I was in like between the angry and acceptance stage, where I was like, I can't believe she did that to me. But I'm like, I'm ready to accept and move on. And this point was so powerful. It was so meaningful for me. He said, okay, you know what? Let's run over it. Let's smash it. I was like, really? Yeah, just do it. I said, okay, man. I feel bad about this, but I gave him her shades, and he walked out. He put it right behind my wheel, or right in front of my car tire. Closed the door, came back in, and took off. Smashed it.
Wow.
So let me tell you.
I know. I kind of remember that.
Remember it?
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
And I'll never forget that. Like, I felt so like empowered, and I think I probably never shared this with you, but that was the one moment where I kind of knew inside. I kind of told myself, you know what, Damon, like, you're gonna be okay. I think you got this, you know.
Yeah.
And we just drove off. We didn't even go back to like pick it up. So if we were in some parking lot and you were the janitor, you have to clean that up. I'm sorry. But it was a very meaningful, powerful moment.
Kids.
Yeah.
Just...
These darn kids.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
You make them sound like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
And I'd have found it if it wasn't for you snoopers. You blasted kids. Why didn't you mind your own business?
Like,
I was just thinking of Scooby-Doo, you know?
We finish each other's sentences. If you were a female and you had to sleep with one male celebrity, who would it be? On the count of 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
John Stamos.
John Stamos.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup. Do you want to go do karate in the garage? Yup.
You see what I mean? Like, we're so in sync with each other. So anyway, I don't know where we're going with this, but that was a powerful moment, a pivotal moment in my life, and I really owe a lot to him. But I wanted to do this episode like pretty much in dedication to you.
Oh,
and just kind of like showing you my appreciation. But it's just, I think we have a lot of history, and for us to talk about this one day, the cool thing about being in 2018 is one day like our grandchildren and our children is gonna see this, and it'd be like, you know what, like my dad, he's pretty cool guy, you know.
I was like, my pop is pretty cool.
My pop.
That's what I'm gonna be named as a grandpa. I'm a pop.
But I think it'll be cool one day to be old men, because we're like in our 30s now.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool one day to look back at this and be like, you know what? And now you got like 7 grandchildren, and now you're still single, Damon, still looking for the right one.
I'm like, no worries, she's out there.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
30 years later, I still believe in you. Anything, as far as your own life goes, what is going on with you? I know you started the Instagram 2 Cents Harry. So tell us a little bit about 2 Cents Harry and your process of shooting videos, and what's your mindset with that?
As some people might know, even you, like I have like ADD, so like I have a lot of things that you know that can
he usually doesn't
get my attention. Yeah. I'm
like,
just
he's doing really good in this interview, by the way.
I'm just trying to, I'm trying to like focus on like one thing. No, but I have a lot of things, and especially what I want to talk about is just I have another YouTube before that I created in 2014 called 2 Cents Gaming, in which I talked about only gaming, but I realized that I don't only want to talk about just that.
Yeah.
Because gaming is good, gaming is fun, don't get me wrong, but I want to talk about more things about, you know, like politics, if I ever get into that, business, but most like business, entrepreneurship, more like financial stuff. So most likely, and then motivate other people to do it, because we're living inside a world where some people are just stuck in this rat race, just keep going, and they need more people like all of us on YouTube, like you, me, you know, Gary Vee, you know, David Ramsey, Tony Robbins, you know, like Robert Kiyosaki, like all these great guys to just like to motivate them.
Because right now you're kind of transitioning more into like entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
Because I
So-
know you do like Bite Squad on the side.
Yeah, I do.
So what is Bite Squad for everyone out there, and how is it beneficial to someone that maybe is looking for like a side hustle or a side job or extra income?
No matter what you're craving, you can order restaurant food on the Bite Squad app, and we'll deliver it right to your door. And the best part? No prepping, no cleanup. Just really great food from your favorite restaurants. Bite Squad. Food for your mood. Delivered.
Well, okay, so Bite Squad is something where if you like to drive, I mean, like if you have like a hoopty car, or if you have like just a car that you just don't really care about, because in Lyft and Uber, the main reason why I can't do Lyft and Uber is, one, my car's kind of old.
He has a hoopty car. That's really what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I have a
He's
hoopty car. And the second one is no AC. So
No AC at all.
Horses? Worse than horses?
and that's the main one. Like, I have no AC, so I can't do Lyft. Because why would you want to go into a Lyft driver and someone's like, oh, can you roll down the window, please? You know, like, no,
Like,
you can't. No, you can't do that. So Bike Squad just makes you just do a delivery service. And what makes them different from Uber Eats and DoorDash, Bike Squad is hourly. So I just recently, just about before you even came, I was looking at a video saying that a guy was doing Uber Eats for 1 full hour, and for like, I think he did it for like 10 hours. He only had 7 deliveries. And for me, it's good if you get the right people, but in Bite Squad you would get paid for those like 10 hours, even though if it's only 7 deliveries. So good for a side hustle. I haven't experienced it yet to see if it's good for full time. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, it's good paying money. Just hustle on. That's usually the hashtag, right? Hashtag
Hustle
it.
on.
Hustle on. Just no matter what it is. Like, even though if you fail at something, you learn from it. So let's pretend that I'm doing my 2 cents Harry and it doesn't go through. At least I tried. That's
Now, outside of Bite Squad, what do you do? Explain to them what 2 cents Harry is. So it's how can they follow you on Instagram at 2 cents Harry, and what is the account about? What are your videos about?
Well, basically it's just encouragement and then about finance and about entrepreneurship. So we're just putting 2 cents on everything. So it can be games, but I'm not going to really concentrate too much on gaming. But it's going to be mostly about finance, entrepreneurship, and just encouragement. Just saying that, like, if you follow me, you're going to look at some video and be like, you know, I'm here one day, just posting today just to remind you guys that you guys are great. Like, just keep hustling on no matter what it is. Because maybe when you open it one day, you're feeling like crap, and you'll be like, oh, 2 cents Harry just told me that I'm great. I am great. And that's going to push you on to do whatever the things that you got to do.
And what I like about him is he's really getting the ball rolling as far as going to the entrepreneurship game, trying different things out, Bite Squad, you know, his Instagram, his YouTube. And 2 cents Harry is basically 30-second to 1-minute clips of him talking about anything that's on the top of his head. Maybe it's bothering him or any type of advice that he wants to give to the world. Tell me about the first video, or like the first few videos where you're still, you know, learning to talk, and how was it? Did you have any outtakes when you're shooting yourself doing video or whatnot?
Well, for the Instagram, it's just all like raw. Like, I don't really have too much bloopers, and not saying that I am professional or anything. It's just the fact that maybe because I had a few practice in 2014 on my other YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That one I did a lot of.
Which was about gaming, right?
About gaming.
Specifically, yeah.
Yeah, and then that one I have to be precise, be on it, make sure that my facts are straight.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say it comes out on October 5th when it actually comes out on October 10th, you know, that kind of stuff. And for this Instagram, I don't know, I always feel comfortable around the camera. So, yeah.
You look pretty comfortable around
Yeah.
the camera.
Thank
He
you.
looks pretty comfortable. Tell me one last thing that I was trying to kind of understand with you, but also I think a lot of people would want to understand as well. You had a gaming channel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people making money off of it. A lot of young
Yeah.
people making money off of one simple thing: people watching them play a video game.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to understand, you know, how do they get paid for that? What is,
Oh, okay.
because
Okay.
you know, like a lot of people would say, okay, why am I gonna pay or take time to watch someone playing video games? What's exciting
okay, so,
about that?
Well, basically, we're coming into a world where for forgive me, all the nerds, all the like unsociable people, like who just want to play games and have fun, is coming to a point where we're getting stadiums, not just, oh, we'll just get a little room of people and do a little tournament. We're getting stadiums of people, like
actual football.
Like actual football.
Yeah.
And the giveaways is crazy. I don't know exactly the numbers, but if you play mobile, you know what is mobile?
Mobile, yeah.
Yeah. No, not mobile. MOBA.
Oh, mobile. I was
Yeah.
like, mobile. I was trying to sound all professional. Like, yeah, mobile.
Yeah, I know mobile games
Mobile
and stuff.
games,
No, MOBA.
mobile phone.
See, MOBA is 5v5. Everybody's just, you know, there's like lanes and stuff, and you just verse each other. And the point of the game is, your 5 versus my 5. I'll try to take over your base. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And you have a certain amount of time. I played MOBAs, and it takes at least 1 hour for one game. At least. A really good game can take, the longest I did was 2.5 hours. And it was a long one.
That sounds like a long time.
Yeah, it was a long one. So basically, in Dota 2, I don't know exactly the number, but it's like close to like $5 million they gave away. So if it could be even more, it could be like in the like 20 millions or something. But if it's just 5 million, that is $1 million for every guy in your team, just for playing a game that you constantly keep playing every day.
See, because back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, like we got ridiculed for
playing games all day.
Playing video games. Like, what are you gonna do
gonna
all day?
Waste away, and your brain's
That
gonna feel like soup.
You're gonna lose your eyesight, and you I don't know. There's no future in gaming. But now we're in a world where a lot of these kids are making millions of bucks, right?
People making millions for opening toys. They'd be like,
unboxing.
wow, this is a toy. That's it, and you get paid millions of dollars just to be like, oh, you know, like we're probably gonna get paid one day just to talk stories, just like this.
Exactly.
You know, we're living in that society. We're all connected, and everybody wants to know everything. And then, you know, I mean, the more we're connected, the more the world gets better.
So, if you had one last message for parents out there that are watching and they're like, my kid is always on the phone, or my kid is always playing video games, what would you say to them?
Okay. First of all, if your kid is on the phone, please know what your kid is looking at before you're like, okay, my kid's on the phone. What is he looking at? Because certain games are just pointless. They're just cash grabs. If you know what cash grab is, it's just cash grab is like they're only there just to make a quick buck, and then they're out of there.
Yeah.
And that's it. They're not there for the players or anything. If you're going to buy a certain game because I just ran into somebody at Walmart buying Super Smash Ultimate for his kid, and all of a sudden the lady who was right next to me is like, oh, is that the popular game? Oh, I might as well get that one too. If you don't know the game that you're actually buying, don't buy it, especially for Christmas time. Like, just do your research, ask him what he wants. If anything, give him, like, if you bought a console, buy a gift card for the store that you got it at, so he can buy his own game.
Like a gift card,
yeah,
in other words.
But don't judge a book by its cover for the games. Always look at the ratings. Never buy a kid any old game, because some games are rated M for mature. So it's I cannot stress that enough. Where the parents will stress that, oh, how come this video game has a lot of nudity, and for my 10-year-old.
But the ratings are there.
Yeah, it's like, why did you buy that nudity game for your 10-year-old?
It's like going to a movie and knowing it's PG-13 or rated R.
Right.
I mean, obviously, right.
Right. So just don't judge a book by its cover. Please consider that if he is getting really good at the game, look at it as if you see your son making 100 free throw baskets in a row. If you see him 100, you say, oh man, he has the potential to join the NBA. Well, if you see your son playing 8 hours straight without blinking, and he's dominating everything, not talking crap now, just dominating, just know that he might have potential in gaming. So,
yeah, a word of advice in 2018 for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing, we talked about our friendship. I think we talked about a lot of things in this interview. What do you think is maybe like a couple things, or 2 or 3 things that friends should have in a friendship? What makes a good friend? Like for you, what makes a good friend or someone that you can trust?
I'm just gonna say one thing, and it's a Tyler Perry reference. You are basically like a tree. A tree, okay?
Yeah.
You are a tree. Your life is like a tree. A lot of people in your life, it's gonna be these leaves.
Preach on.
You know, you're gonna see them hanging around you, telling that they want to be with you. One little wind blow, sometimes the wind blow too strongly, and they're out already. They're gone. They're out of your life already. They cannot be reattached because once the leaf goes, they're gone. Some people are like the branches, because the wind is blowing, they're gonna stick with you. But a strong enough wind is gonna come, and they're out. They're broke. They're like, nah, dude, I'm good. My advice is for a friendship, don't be a leaf or a branch. See this? Be a root. Because the root, no matter how much the wind blows, it's still right there, sticking to the tree. That's it.
I can't follow that up. I cannot say anything. Wow. Like, we were, yeah.
Wait.
That was deep. That was deep. Like, well, I guess that's the end of our show. There's no way to follow up with that. So, again, I just want to thank you for being on the show, but most of all, thank you for being my best friend. And I'm going to do something that you always ridicule me about.
I knew it was
You
coming.
always tease me every time. So, look.
Okay.
I'm going to do it because I don't care what you say. But when we do it, explain to them if I did it good or not. Okay.
So the reason why I did this, because I was like, I knew his handshake was coming, so I was like, I know he's gonna shake my hand, so I'm just gonna do it first. And you said, I'm gonna do this for a long time. I'm like, I know it's coming.
Here's the joke, okay? We're gonna end it off with this. We do a hug, or we do a handshake. I call it a man hug, okay? So we shake, and then it's half handshake, half hug. He always teases me about my handshake and my man hug. And I think I do a pretty good job with a man hug. So this is what the man hug is.
Okay.
We see each other, like, oh man, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Go like that, and we go like that.
Okay, you see this?
I don't know what's
you
wrong
see
here.
this?
Yeah.
You see this curve of a line? Okay, because you do this, and I'm just like, okay, because it's more like you're either gonna do this or you're shaking your hand, like, all right, man, here you go, boom, and that's it. No, you see how you do it wide? Like
I'm already going for the hug already. Like, that's all I got my mind on is the hug.
So
like, forget
it's like,
all
right.
this is just stalling time.
Yeah.
I want to hug you
So
already.
basically, when you're hugging, you see how you're not slapping the flies, okay? You're not going soup or anything. It's like strictly just like a regular handshake. Hi, nice to meet you. That's all. But then when you're doing with a handshake, it's either you do that. All right, man, that's it. That's it. You even have to clamp if you don't want to. You don't have to say. You can just like that's it.
Okay.
See, again,
Okay.
you're
Because I'm already waiting for the hug already.
Okay, when you hug, okay, instead of going focusing on this area, you actually have to focus on this area. Okay. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger and that other Apollo Creed.
Okay.
In Predator.
What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils? Huh?
So show them how to do a man hug properly.
Okay, so when you go like that, it's boom, that's it. That's it, pow. And
so I go like this. That's why we
and then that's why we get stuck.
Now mind you, hold on. Have you seen how gigantic his forearm is? Okay, so if you guys think I'm doing it wrong, no. This is what happens. This, in my defense, I go to handshake you. I come here. His forearm is so huge that I can't get around it. So he ends up going like this.
Yeah, and then we end up doing this little lightning bolt of a flash. You know, like.
So what you're saying is instead of here.
Yeah, you gotta go up. And
it's
like,
here.
And
then here.
Yeah, but if you're deciding to do this, and we're already going in, you gotta go up already. And then,
now what if, for those who don't know how to do a man hug, what if it's too late? What if they can't go up? What do you do at this point right here?
You just, that's it. You hit the shoulder. You're like,
bail out.
Bail
out. All right, good.
And you're already pushing out, and you're already pushing the guy out. Like, all right, cool.
All right,
but,
so there's two ways of handshaking. One is like this, which
3.
Yeah, 3. Which you don't have room over here to man hug, right? You don't have a hug.
Yeah.
Or it's his way, which is here.
Yeah. And you always gotta curve like that. And that's it. That's how it is. It's just right after you do that hug, like, all right, man, cool. All right, shoots, and that's it. And you just gone. Okay. Another one is you don't even hold the guy's hand. Basically, it's just a straight up like tap hug. So it's like, pop.
I see.
I didn't even know if you hug it right.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on.
So
Tap.
That's it.
He's a hard hugger. Anyway, he really slapped my back. Okay, so that's the man hug, and I think that's the perfect way to end this episode. Right. So, Harrison, thank you. I'm gonna shake your hand off camera so I don't mess up. But that's how you do a man hug. Thank you for being on the show.
Yep.
First episode, it was a success. And stay tuned for our next episode of The Show.